Hi friends, so let me again meet for today's analysis. I think a decent market, I would say. It was pretty seesaw. The markets were going up and down, up and down. Markets are volatile, but I think still a decent market, I would say. There are many reasons to it. We'll discuss in detail, but we start with the global market. So yesterday we had a testimony, Mr. Powell, who's a Fed chairman in US, and as usual, what he has told is last commentary also. He has again repeated the same things that they are not in a hurry to decrease the interest rates further, which means that interest rates in US will remain stagnant for some more time. With that, I think the dot plot in March is giving very low probability of interest rate cut in March, and probably in May also now will not have a rate cut. So March policy of Fed will not have any rate cut. Also May policy. We have to see from June onward or July onward policy what it says. But let's say for another 3 4 months we'll not get a rate cut from US. Now this has slight implication to India because we always want a differential in terms of US interest rates and Indian interest rates because of the differential we see some amount of investments coming into India in terms of debt market, which keeps our rupee also stronger and keeps a check against the dollar. But probably that is not to be. What RBI will take the action will. It's a long time to go now. The policies in April, so let's not speculate now. But with whatever Mr. Powell has said and whatever the numbers are looking like, I don't think they'll be doing any rate cut in March and May policy. Anyways, US inflation data is due today. I think India's inflation data is also due today. So let's have those two numbers in place, very important numbers, and we'll see how the number comes. Yesterday we had a good session from US markets. When we were closing yesterday, both the indexes, with all the three indexes, whether it's S&P, Nasdaq, or Dow, they all were in red. S&P closed flat. Dow, in fact, closed in green around 0.5% or so higher. And Nasdaq was in red, but it was mainly due to Tesla, which was around 6% lower yesterday because I think they are again dwelling into this AI expansion. A lot of companies are doing into it, and I think Tesla is also trying to venture, which I think markets are not liking it. So Tesla stock was down 6%, and that had an effect on Nasdaq. Otherwise, if you remove Tesla, Nasdaq was also in green. So pretty stable market action yesterday from US, in spite of Fed giving, I would say, kind of a hawkish commentary. If at all Trump would not have been there, and the U.S. Investors would have been so bullish on U.S. and their markets, probably would have fallen yesterday by 500 points with this speech of Mr. Powell. But market is ignoring Mr. Powell now. They don't want any interest rate cuts. They are very hopeful on the mega policy of America, which is Make America Great Again. So this is what the U.S. markets had, and we'll see the inflation numbers how it comes today. Apart from that, so Mr. Modi probably has landed in US and he'll be meeting Mr. Trump tomorrow, I think. Now, it will be very important for us to watch what happens tomorrow. The reason is very simple. What kind of tone is there between the two countries? What kind of understanding, what kind of trade wars, or let's say what kind of trade considerations are there between the two countries is very important. Tomorrow, if Mr. Modi is able to pacify Trump. And why I'm using the word pacify is because Mr. Trump has announced that he will put reciprocal taxes on the countries. Now, in Asia, India enjoys the highest trade difference between the US and India. This is what the economic advisor in US has already told, that the tariffs from India is very high. And this is especially in autos. We don't want the EV companies from US to invest in India, and we don't want their cars to be imported to protect our automakers. So that will be a big change. If that happens, it will be a great hit. So we have to see how Mr. Modi is able to navigate this meeting tomorrow. What is the tone? If at all we find a soft tone from US tomorrow, and Mr. Modi is able to pacify with small cuts in tariffs, not much, and you were able to sail through, I think it will be a great victory, and that will probably change the market mood to a larger extent because market will remain nervous until this happens. People are anyways speculating that why only Mr. Modi is going there to first to meet. Is it a negative for India? I don't think so. It's actually positive for India, and he has been called Mr. Trump. So I think that should be a positive for India. And tomorrow's day will be important in terms of how he is able to navigate, or India is able to navigate through this trade wars. So I think it will be very important. We'll be having close watch in this, and tomorrow we'll be discussing what happens anyways on this. Now, coming to our markets. So yesterday also we discussed that it's very difficult to short the markets, but as well as difficult to buy the markets also, because markets will remain volatile and then try to form the bottom. Now yesterday also we discussed that market actually wanted to go to those levels of 27 January. They were short from all these levels, and they wanted to cover their positions and take the market to those levels. That's what exactly happened today. The low was around 22 798 odd, but we can say the market was actually trying to form a double bottom. Whether confirmation is there, no, but whether market is willing to form a bottom, it's looking like, because it was not only about Nifty, it was also about mid cap and small caps, which after falling around 3.5% in the intraday today, it was a very smart recovery, and probably at some point of time they both were trading in green. In fact, at one point of time, Nifty, Bank Nifty, mid cap index and small cap index all were in green, which means that, and it will be very interesting to see today's F1 data from FIIs. In cash, I don't know, but I think they will be still selling. But the F1 data will be very important today from FIIs. Let's see whether there is some short covering happening today. If at all there is a short covering, which means I think FIIs will try to form this double bottom as the bottom, and probably they'll start moving forward from here on. Also, it will depend on how the meeting goes on between Trump and Modi tomorrow. I think, they will be keeping a close eye on that also, as well. But if that meeting happens well, and tomorrow we again rebound from the same levels, tomorrow, anyways, it's Nifty weekly expiry. The markets will remain very volatile tomorrow. I think if the FIs would be in any mood to form a double bottom, they will go to those levels again tomorrow. We may test it, we may go at least below it also, and then we'll see a short covering. Or if they've already covered their short, whatever they want to cover the shorts, we'll see a explosive move upwards. But if tomorrow we close below these levels, which means tomorrow if we are closing below 22,800 level, which means fresh shorts have been added at those levels, and then probably we are moving down. So if tomorrow that happens, you can carry your short. You can short the market and carry it forward. There will no issue at all, because tomorrow we'll be forming new shorts in that way. But today's market action, it was looking like the market was volatile, and the market went three times up and down. So we were around 250, 260, 270 points down on the Nifty, and we were around 600 points down on the Bank Nifty. We had a recovery. There were three intraday recoveries attempted. Then we went to green. Again, we went to negative. And then again, in the last half an hour, we saw a recovery. So it was 4 or 5 times those kind of seesaw actions happening in the indexes, which means that markets were going down, short covering was happened. Market was going down, short covering was happened. This is what I can imagine or I can assume from the market action. Whether it has happened or not, we have to exactly see the F1 numbers. But the screen was telling that, and that's a good news. If at all the markets remain very, very volatile against these levels of 22,800 to 23,000, it will only reassure that the firm base is getting formed, a firm bottom is getting formed, and this time, if that bottom is formed, it will remain for another 4, 5, 6 months. Yesterday also I was telling you that if at all we rally from here now, it will be a long rally, because we have invested 5, 6 months in this rally now, and it is after digesting a lot of negative news, a lot of big events. If at all that churning happens tomorrow again and we're able to close green, and if at all we're able to close that 23, 150, 200 kind of levels again, but with the volatility, we actually want volatility tomorrow. It should not be one way. Otherwise, there will be always chances for a rally to fail again. But if at all there is a volatility up, down a lot considering expiry, it will be a great news. And that would reaffirm that a firm base and bottom is getting into place. And if we are able to, in spite of all these things, we're able to close above 23, 150, even that is also good enough. 200, so it's kenai kya. That will be, cherry on the cake. But even if we are closing about 23 to 150 or 200 levels, it will be a great levels to buy. Tomorrow you can then take again buy positions with either today's bottom, whatever has been formed. If at all we don't break the bottom tomorrow, or if we are breaking the bottom tomorrow, then tomorrow's bottom you can have a long position. If at all we are closing above those levels, right? So two things will be important tomorrow: volatility, close above that 23 150 or 200, and a good uh, kind of conversation between India and America tomorrow. These three things you should watch tomorrow. Apart from that, I think if we talk about the broad parameters like dollar index, it is pretty flat, 108.0510 kind of levels. The currency opened actually stronger today, around 27 paisa, but it was all intraday. We lost all the gains, and in fact, we were trading negative. Not much, but I think a paisa or so, I think 10 paisa or so. But we actually opened in green today, I think 27 paisa. Now, I think the game is not about currency. No, so the game is all about now the formation of base, whether tomorrow we are adding new shorts or not, today how much short covering has happened, and how are we able to pacify Mr. Trump tomorrow. Just watch these 3 4 parameters tomorrow. Those will be important. One more worry which was there from FIs or could have been a worry: income tax bill. I think it has been filed and it has been now into public. The taxes have been kept constant. There is no change at all. Yes, BJP is claiming that they have probably simplified the bill a lot, and 600 pages have now been reduced to 300 pages, but not material for us. I don't think there is any clause which will affect the stock markets as such. It's probably advertising for them that they have simplified. They are doing a lot in terms of reforms of taxes and all those things. But as far as the information goes, as of now, nothing much has changed the clauses apart from some cosmetic changes, and the length has been reduced to not important for stock market. Now, today, whatever stocks led the recovery, I don't know whether you have seen it or not, but if you've not seen, see the charts. I think the recovery started somewhere around 11:30 or 12 o'clock. So you can see the charts also of all Nifty 50 companies. The companies which led the recovery one was HDFC Life, second was L&T, third was partly HUL, partly TCS. We had some recovery in Adani Enterprise, Hero Motocorp, and I think one or two stocks more. I'm forgetting the name. I think Titan. So these are the stocks which will probably lead the rally now. So if you're able to believe that yes, we are near bottom, and tomorrow's market action, today's market action supports that view, then you can look into these stocks, because the stocks which will lead the recovery, which means the short covering is happening first in these stocks, right? So which means there are chances of these stocks to rally forward in February month or March month or coming forwards. So that will be a trigger which you can see. Small cap and mid cap. Now let's see. Whatever we discussed yesterday, we could not find any major reason for the fall. I don't know what it was, but in terms of earnings, also, if we see now, Nifty is now trading at around 18.5 times on the 1 year forward earnings. So, which is below our 10-year average. 10-year average comes to around 20.5 to 21. So, we are trading much lower than that, 18 times forward earnings for FY26. To valuation point of view, Nifty looks very, very stable. And why I'm knowing this fact once again is because of that bottom formation thing which I probably observed today. I may not be very sure, but this is what the screen was telling me. And the valuation comfort now which has come, because even the earnings growth that we see, whatever is showing as of now, it is showing around 13 to 15% earnings rise. So the market was expecting only 5%, at least it was expecting 13% rise. But market was expecting that we'll not get those kind of earnings. But the companies have been decent enough to give the earnings. And one more thing very important in the earnings is whatever companies have given bad earnings, it's actually on the bottom line, on the margin front. The top line has been coming very good, which means there is a demand, which means there is no issue in terms of the top line, the sales, revenue. The margin has been taken hit because of the slight discounts and all those things which the companies have been giving to retain the market share. And that can anyways come back once the demands come back. And probably the demand is coming back because whatever commentary we are seeing from all of the companies, they're all saying the rural demand is back. And with all the government spending going up, and now with whatever rate cuts, etc., things have been given by the various policymakers in India, probably now we'll see those kind of urban expenditure to also go up. And that will give a lot of confidence in terms of the investors. Even if we see the small cap and large mid cap, I think the earnings discounting has probably happened. See, anyway, small cap is trading now around 20% low from its all-time high, and it's technically to be into bear market. Mid cap also is around 17-18%, very near to the bear market. Nifty is trading around 12.5, 13 times the and has fallen down 13% from its highs. So probably small cap, mid cap are also very near to its bottom formations, or probably say to a decent earnings. Anyways, the earnings of small cap, mid cap have been higher than Nifty for last 1 year. Yes, the stocks have rallied, but the earnings have also rallied in the same way. So now they have also reached to a valuation which are fairly reasonable. I'm not saying that they will rally very fast from here. They might not. But it's the bottom formation is what is looking as of now for all three, four major indexes. Whatever they wanted to churn out the people, weak hands have already moved out. I don't think anything is left out now. So considering all this, probably the market is looking again very interesting. I have taken my long position today itself. I've taken a stop loss of today's low. I know tomorrow it will be market will be seesaw and continuing expiry, and they might have to do some more shorts covering. But let's see how it happens tomorrow. We can always change our positions. It hardly takes any time. So, considering all these factors into account, and again, Europe markets have again made the all-time high today again. So, and I think Kospi was in green today. Australia was in green today. Hang Seng was in green today. Yesterday, Dow has closed greens. S&P was flat. And I think Nikkei was also in green. So all the indexes today were in green of Asian markets and the above markets. Most of the markets are actually, Europe and US are very close. Europe is actually trading at all-time highs. America and US is also close to its all-time highs. And there is no reason why, historically also, whenever the world markets have done good, India has always done good. It's very unlikely that when the world markets are doing good, India does not do good. See, other way around, it may happen that when they're doing bad, we may slightly underperform or outperform, the different story. But massive underperformance does not happen between the world markets and India, because we are a kind of an export-driven country, and if the world market is doing it, a lot of investments come to India, and a lot of growth happens because IT industry is there. It takes a lot of revenue from the US, etc. So, considering all these things, I still find markets to be very close to a bottom point level, but we have to wait for tomorrow's session as well. In whatever form I've told you, let's see how it happens tomorrow. Uh, we hope for the best, and let's see. We have a good sparkling day tomorrow, some fireworks, but let's hope that the fireworks happen on the upper side or on the downside, because people have become frustrated, and I'm not saying that people should get frustrated. These are part and parcel of the markets. Market will not never give you all a single trend, and that is what the participant becomes stronger. The participants who will remain in this market will only last longer, and they will the people who will make money. The people who will now actually move out of the markets will actually be a loser. And that's how the market has been formed. They want these losers and small and weak hands to actually move out. That is what the unfortunate part of this market is. So considering all this, let's be hopeful for tomorrow and let's expect some fireworks. All the best for tomorrow. Thank you so much.